What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Cameron, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to add custom night challenges to your custom night in your Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. This is a part of my side tutorial series on how to make a FNaF fan game in Clickteam Fusion 2.5. And like I said in the beginning, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to add custom challenges to your custom night. So, custom night, there are about 3 different types of custom night in in the FNaF series. You got the standard FNaF version, which was from the custom night tutorial, which is just go in, change the AIs and just start your night with your custom AIs. And then you have a FNaF 2 custom night where there are challenges with it as well, which is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be adding challenges, and although a lot of FNaF fan games like to do the whole complete this challenge, then complete this challenge, and to progress on to the next challenge, we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be doing a FNaF 2 challenge, custom night challenge, where you don't have to do every single one. You can go straight to Golden Freddy if you want. You can do whatever challenges you want. If you beat them, you get a star. And that's basically the synopsis of it. And there's also a sister location custom night, which is just you have a difficulty. You have I think you have to beat every single challenge on very hard to actually get Golden Freddy. I don't remember. I haven't played that in years, but I could do an advanced custom night, similar to how I'm going to be doing an advanced multiple night system. I could do an advanced custom night, but that would be a very long tutorial. But we're getting sidetracked. So we're now going to be working on challenges. Make our own challenges. You can select through them, and then it'll go over to the night custom. And then obviously if you beat the night, then you go back, and we'll be to do you're back into it. So to begin this, I believe that we need to insert our arrows, our stars, and our actual challenges. So we're going to insert the string first. So we're going to go insert object. We're going to go string, and we are just going to title this challenges string. There we go. Challenges string. Go over to font settings, text settings, change the color, do all this. Terminal. And I don't actually know how long this tutorial is going to be either, because I did a little pre-recording and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I don't know. This could vary. But anyway, so we now have our custom night string, or our challenger string. I'm going to slide that down here, and I am actually going to go over and just center align this. And now we have our challenge right here. It says text right now, but obviously to make your own challenges, you want to select your challenges string, go over to properties, and go over to settings, and you will be met with this interface. It has text and a paragraphs. Now you can do this kind of 2 ways. So you can type in here challenge 1, challenge 1, or you can just type in a preset challenge name, and it'll also type into paragraph 1 as well. So if I name it balls, it's gonna be named balls right here, but that's only in the first paragraph. So obviously I don't want just 1 challenge. I want about 5 challenges. So in order to make your own challenges and to add challenges, just press the new button, and this will add a new paragraph. And in here, you can just type in challenge 2 or whatever preset challenge name you have, and then just keep adding as much paragraphs as you want, because each paragraph is correlated to which challenge it is. So paragraph 1, challenge 1, paragraph 2, challenge 2, and it'll display that. So paragraph 3 is going to be challenge 3 for me, because I don't have a preset name for everything. Paragraph 4 is going to be challenge 4. And then paragraph 5 is going to be my Golden Freddy challenge, because, there's always a Golden Freddy challenge. And yeah, so I have 5 challenges right now. I have challenge 1, 2, 3, 4, and Golden Freddy. So there we go. So I have all my challenges here, obviously. Just think of some creative names if you want to, and we will begin. The next step we need to do is we need to insert arrows. We need to insert a left arrow and a right arrow so you can actually go through your challenges. So I'm going to go right click, insert, and I'm going to insert an active. and I am going to rename this left challenge arrow. There we go. Go into this, import, and I already have a pre-made, oh, nope, wrong game. I have a pre-made, god damn it, I'm going to all the wrong folders, but I already have a pre-made arrow. I just gotta find it, yep, arrow right there. And obviously, if you have your own pre-made arrow, just insert that. I'm gonna press OK. I have this, and I think that's actually a good height. I'm gonna put that right there, I think. And I'm going to then insert my right arrow. If you already have a pre-made right arrow, then just go right click, insert, and instead of it being the left arrow, it's going to be a right arrow. But for me, I'm actually just going to clone this because I don't have a pre-made right arrow. I'm going to clone this, and I'm going to rename this clone to right challenge arrow. Remember, if you are doing the exact same thing I'm doing, clone it, don't copy and paste it, do not duplicate it, do not do anything like that, just clone it. Right challenge arrow, and then I'm just gonna go in here, and then just, whoop, there we go, and then slide this over here. So now, we have our arrows. Great. And then I think I am going to insert, or I don't think, I'm going to be inserting my stars next, which is going to be, you know, obviously your star gets filled in if you complete a challenge, and it stays not filled in if you don't. It's as simple as that. So I'm just going to go over, I'm going to rename this to stars, star, I guess. And I am just going to find a star PNG because I could never put a star PNG in my game. And then once you inserted your stars, make sure to go over to view hotspot, hold down Alt on your keyboard and press the middle square so that the hotspot stays in the middle. And then once you have that, boom, you put that right there. Now, unlike the arrows, we are actually just going to copy and paste this other star because we want this star to have the exact same code as the star over here, since they're not really going to be different in any way. They're not going to be different at all, actually. The only difference is that one is on the left side and one's on the right side. Makes sense? Because if you don't know, cloning an object only like clones the shape of it, and it clones the name as well. Well, not really, it doesn't clone the name, but it adds like a 2 at the end of your cloned name, because it's not a direct copy and paste of the entire code as you know, as your first object. But if you actually copy and paste, for example, the star, we're gonna make it so that it like goes animation frame 1 when challenge 1 is done. That'll also occur over here. But if you only cloned it, it would make this a separate object instead of them being together. Makes sense? That's why we wanted to clone these arrows, because they're 2 separate objects for 2 separate purposes. Kind of like all these arrows up here. A lot of explaining, but it's fine. Anyway, once you have the stars, now what we're going to do is we're going to go right click, insert object, and we are going to be inserting a counter, and this is going to be called challenges. So we're calling this challenges. And obviously, if you haven't caught on already, we are going to be scrolling through the challenges with this. So I'm just going to go this, that, and all up and above. Oh, did I change the order? Yes, I did. So we are just going to change all of this to white because I have a black background, because I can't, you know, I can't see black on black, but if I can change it to white, then I can see it. There we go. I'm going to put that right there. Put that right there. So we have challenges now. And what we're going to do is, whenever you press the right arrow, it adds 1 to this counter up here. And if you click the left arrow, it subtracts 1 from this counter. The minimum is 1. And the maximum is 5, because I only have 5 challenges and I don't want to go beyond that. So we're going to go up to the event editor, and we're going to begin. So we're going to go over to this new condition down here, right click, insert a group of events, and we're going to title this challenges, because we are working on challenges. And then we're going to go over to new condition, storyboard controls, start a frame. And in the start a frame event, we want to go over to challenges and go right click, set counter to 1. Because if we set counter to 0, then, well, we don't have a 0th challenge. We only have 5 challenges and 0 is excluded out of that. So obviously I want to make my challenges automatically go to 1 at the start of the frame. Makes sense? I know that sounds really weird, but trust me on this one. And once you have that, then what we are going to do is we're going to go over to new condition, go over to the mouse pointer and keyboard, the mouse, user clicks on an object with the left button, and we're going to say the left challenge to begin with, and we're also going to go right click, insert, and I'm going to go over to challenges, give it a counter value, when it is greater than 1, because remember, we don't want to click on this if we're set to challenge 1 right now, which right now this is on challenge 1, then we don't want to go to like 0 or the negatives, you know what I mean? We only want to say 1, and we are going to make this arrow disappear too, so don't worry about that. I guess if you don't want to make it disappear, then you don't have to, but obviously we don't want it to go beyond into the negatives. And it's the same thing with the challenges too, with like the maximum, because I have 5 challenges, so I don't want this counter to go over 5. If you have 8, you don't want that counter to go over 8. You know what I mean? I don't. Anyway, but if this is the case, then go over to challenges, right click, subtract from counter 1, and then obviously if you run the frame, this isn't gonna work because we're already on challenge 1, and if I click this, I can't subtract it because it has to be higher than 1. But if I go over to new condition and I go mouse pointer and keyboard, the mouse, user clicks on an object with the left button, and I say the right challenge arrow, then I go right click, insert, go over to challenges, compare the counter value, but this time when it is lower than 5. Because, like I said before, I don't want my users and my players to go over 5 because that would be considered a bug. We don't have more than 5 challenges. Or I don't. If you do, that's good. Obviously, if you have like 8 challenges, it would be lower than 8. If you have 9 challenges, lower than 9. If you have 16 challenges, lower than 16. All that and above. So, once you have that, then obviously you want to go over to challenges, right click, add to counter, 1. And there we go. And when you run the frame, if I click on the right arrow, boom, I can click on it and it goes up. So I can go up, I can go down. But remember, I can't go lower than 1, and I can't go higher than 5. I'm clicking and it's not working, which is what we want. But there's a couple issues with this that obviously if you have kind of looked at the screen, you would notice. So, first of all, the big issue is, yes, this counter is going up, but these challenges, the names aren't changing, you know what I mean? So, obviously we want this to be like, if you're on counter equals 1, it displays challenge 1. If you're on, if this equals 2, it's challenge 2, stuff like that. Additionally, you may have noticed that the stars also are already filled in. This doesn't mean that every challenge is done, it's just that there is no code saying, hey, what frame are you going to be, looking at? And if you looked really closely, you would notice that the arrows up here can be adjusted no matter what challenge you're on. Now, obviously, if you're on a preset challenge, you don't want your user to actually change their animatronics difficulty. That's like if I go over to Golden Freddy Challenge, which I'm at right now, and I change all of these guys, let's just, for example, let's just say like all these counters are 20, I can still adjust this on 5. Well, I don't want that. I want them to face the preset challenge. So there's a lot to kind of tackle here, and this is really just the shit stuff. We'll get into like the actual I stuff because there is going to be a lot of I in this tutorial, but for now we have to do the boring stuff. It's like bathroom duties at like an amusement park. No one wants to do them, but someone's gotta. But anyway, we are going to be making it so that the strings also change with the counter as well, which is pretty easy. All we gotta do is go over to user clicks on left arrow, and then go over to challenge a string, right click, and we're gonna say paragraph, and then we're gonna go over to when the user clicks on the right arrow and go next paragraph. And this should automatically work, does it itself. So as you can see, we're in challenge 1, and as you can see, it displays challenge 1, and then, oh, challenge 2, challenge 3, challenge 4, and golden Freddy. So, we got that working. That was like 2 seconds ago, which is nice. Now, the next step I want to do is I want to make my arrows appear non-clickable whenever you're on a preset challenge, because like I said before, or I don't even know if I said it or not, but challenge 1 is my custom challenge. So in challenge 1, you can just make your own custom night. You can adjust whatever AI you want at whatever point and whatever. Anyway, but if you're on challenge 2 or above, it is preset challenges. So I want to make my arrows disappear from challenge 2 and beyond. So to do that, in a sense, we're going to go over to new condition, and we're going to go over to challenges, create the constantly value. When it is set to 1, we're going to go over to the arrows, every single character's arrows. And as you can see right here, we have Freddy left arrow, Freddy right arrow, we have all these, right? But from here, when the challenge is equal to 1, we want our character, or we want our player to be able to click on them. So we're going to go Freddy left arrow, we're going to go right click, and I'm going to go, where is it at? We're going to go to effect, set alphabetic coefficient to 0, which means that it is the most visible. And of course, to make our job easier, just drag this check mark across all these boxes with all of your characters' arrows. Because once again, it copies over pretty easily, so just drag them over and you're good. So this won't do much because obviously it's already set to 0 and we have nothing to really make it invisible. But whenever we click on challenge 2 or above, it'll be set to 255, which is the most invisible. So we're going to be working on that. So we're going to go over to new condition, go over to challenges, compare the constant value, and we're going to say when it's different than 1 this time. Then go over to Freddy left arrow, effect, set alphabetic coefficient to 255 this time, which is the most visible, or least visible, which is in this case invisible. And obviously you'll be able to drag this all across. And when you run it and you go over and you click this, you can still click it. Oh, it's great, but boom, you can't see it, which is nice. But you can still click it. You can still go around, you can still adjust the AI even if it is invisible. So we also had to change that. But that change is also pretty easy because all we have to do is go over up to our actual adjustable AIs, and where it says, let's go to Spring Chat for example. We go over to mouse pointer is over, let this, repeat, you know, all of that. Oh, when that's visible, all that. But if I go right click, insert, and then go challenges, compare the constant value, when it is greater than 1, then, oh no, don't listen to that. No. When it is equal to 1, not greater, when it is equal to 1. But, like I said before, if it's equal to 1, that means you can actually adjust the AI. And obviously, to make our job easier, we have to do this with every single AI. There is a way to do this, but you have to do it correctly because you have to, the way that I like to do it is I don't really want to go over to every single one and go right click, insert, and go challenge counter is equal to 1. But what you can do is you can drag this challenge counter over these numbers to actually like add it onto your code. So for example, if I do this and I drag this over to my 44 code, boom, it adds on right there. But you have to remember, do not go over and drag it over one of these codes because it'll just replace it. Drag it over the number, like the numbered code that you want to add it to, and it'll easily copy over. Make sense? Once you know that, just drag this. For example, my Spring Chat AI, I want to drag this challenge counter equal to 1 up to Golden Freddy. So I want to go hover over the number and then boom. Then I want to hover over this number, boom. And then just do that for the rest It's not really the number, but more or less just this square. Just hover over this square, and then you should be good. And I want to do this with all my characters, my Chicas, my Bonnies, my Freddies, all my gang, all my Gizzity gang. So, once you've done that and you actually run the frame, it automatically works now. So as you can see, challenge 1, I can change it because it's custom challenge, but boom. Arrows are invisible, but I can't adjust the AI anymore. But obviously, as you can see, Bonnie's still at 8 because I adjusted him at 8. Now I'm going to adjust him at 20, Golden Freddy at 8, Foxy at 7. But they're automatically set to that now. They're set to that because I decided to put it on to the next challenge. Because it is carrying over because we don't have any preset challenges. Which is the next step. We're going to actually make our preset challenges for when we get to this counter. When we get to that counter, So we're going to go out and we are going to be making our own challenges now. We're going to go over, and we already have this one where it's challenge equal to 1, so we don't need to actually make another one of that. But we want to go over, and I'm going to insert a new group of events right on this indent. Not here where it's like at like this indent right here, but this code where it's kind of like pushed up a little bit. I want to go over to 61, right click, insert a group of events, and just call this preset challenges. Preset challenges. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go over to new condition, challenges, compare the counter value when it is set to 2, because remember my challenge 1 it doesn't have a preset challenge at number 1. When it's equal to 2, I'm going to go over then new condition, challenges, compare the counter value when it's set to 3, new condition when it is set to 4, and then the last one, which is challenge 5. And obviously, if you have more challenges, then just go up to how many challenges you have. But I have only 5, so you gotta remember that. But as you can see, now we have challenge 2, challenge 3, challenge 4, challenge 5. We have all of our challenges in there. The next step we want to do is we want to go over to our challenges equal to 2. And we want to go over and we can actually make our own custom night challenge now. So I'm going to go over and activate only like Freddy, Golden Freddy, and Springtrap. So, that was just all at random. I'm going to go over to Freddy. I'm going to be like, I want Freddy to be level 5 in challenge 2. I want Foxy's AI to be level 10. I want Golden Freddy's AI to be level 3. And I want Springtrap's AI to be level 16. Right? And this will work. But the issue here is, once you have your preset challenges, and you have only a couple characters active, you can't ignore these other 2. You have to set them to 0 if they're not active. So Bonnie and Chica are not active on challenge 2, so I'm going to go right click to Bonnie counter, set AI or set counter to 0, and then go over to Chica, right click, set counter to 0. Automatically work for my second challenge. So if I do that and then I run the frame, as you can see, it's set to 0 right now. And then if I go over to challenge 2, boom, I have a preset challenge. What? Am I the only one that saw Springtrap get brighter? I'm recording this pretty late at night, so if I sound a little delusional, it's because I am. But anyway, as you can see right here, we now have preset challenge number 2, can't adjust the AI, all is great. But, it's not really an issue for this because it is just challenge 1. But obviously for my other challenges, I want more preset challenges. So let's say in challenge 2, I want Bonnie's AI set to 20, and I want Chica's AI set to 20, and I want Foxy's AI set to 15. Obviously I have 3 characters active, but that means I have to make sure that my other characters aren't active, because if I leave it empty, then it's going to carry over from the last challenge. So, I'm going to go over to Freddy AI and set his counter to 0. I'm going to go over to Springtrap, set his AI to 0, set Golden Freddy's and Springtraps, all of them set to 0 because they are not active. Only Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy are active for my 3rd challenge. So we're on the frame. Go to the second challenge, boom, I have this. Go to my third challenge. Now Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy are active. And for my fourth challenge, I want to set every single character to 10. Kind of like a cupcake challenge. So I want to set all of my characters to 10. And I'm actually just going to drag this across because they're all going to have the same AI. And then for challenge is equal to 5, I want to set all of them to 20. Now, obviously, you can set them to whatever you want. Obviously, you don't have to follow what I'm doing. Well, you kind of do, but you kind of don't. But obviously, just customize it in the way that you like. But now, I have all of my challenges done. So, I'm going to actually just zoom in for this. So, challenge 1, I'm saying this is just the custom mode. I can just customize whatever I want. Challenge 2, Freddy, Foxy, Golden Freddy, and Springtrap are active. Challenge 3, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy are active. Challenge 4, all of them are active, set at 10. And then Golden Freddy, all of them are active, set at 20. Which is good. So, half the battle's done now. We made our custom night challenges. Now, we have to make a save file to make sure that you completed that. Which is a tedious process almost, but it's not as tedious as, like, the regular INI where you have to go to every single night frame. In this case, we're only bringing it to 3 frames. We're only bringing all of our INI and stuff to, obviously, if you don't remember INI, you had to get a night verification counter and an INI folder, and you had to copy and paste into all the other frames. But in this case, you only have to do 3 frames, which are 6 a.m., the custom night menu, and the actual custom night itself, since it is its own frame right down here. And the reason we're only doing it 3 is because you're not going to be accessing a custom night in the extras menu. You're not going to be accessing a custom night in the game over, or the night 4, or like night 1, maybe in loading, but like it's loading. It's like whatever. So that's what we're going to be doing now. But to actually start that, we need to insert a couple things. In this case, we're going to insert 4 counters and 1 INI, which we should do right now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go right click, insert object, counter, and we are going to go. So the first thing we're going to do is we are actually going to go over to this challenges counter over here, and I am going to go right click. I'm going to go right click and I'm going to clone it, similar to what we did with the arrows down here. I'm going to clone this, counter right here, and it should be titled challenges 2. But this isn't going to be for challenges 2. We're going to rename this to challenge 1 done. Challenge 2 done, because my first challenge is just a custom challenge. You can't beat it. But challenge 2 done is what I'm going to call it. And obviously, if you haven't caught on already, what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this counter, we're going to copy it over to a 6 a.m., to the 6 a.m. frame, to the night custom frame, and then when this equals 1, the star over here is going to light up whenever you're on challenge 2. And we have to do this for the rest of our challenges too, so it's not just 1, but 2. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to clone this again. And then I'm going to have this over here. Remember, do not copy and paste it or duplicate it, just clone it. And I'm going to rename this to challenge 3 done. And I'm going to clone it again. And guess what I'm going to name it? I'm going to name it challenge 4 done. And then I am going to do it one more time for challenge 5 done. Obviously, if you have more than 5, then just do more than 5. If you don't, though, then you don't got an issue. If you have 5 challenges with me, then stick along. But if you have more, add more challenge X done, But now we have all of our challenge done counters. And the next thing we need to do is we need to go right click, insert object, and we're going to insert an INI. And obviously, for this INI, we want our INI to be the exact same name as our other INIs from our other frames. So I'm going to go over to my night 5, go to the INI here, and I'm just going to copy down the INI name for use and put the INI use for name in my INI in the custom night menu. So there we go. And now we can finally keep going. now the next step we need to do is we need to go up to the event editor, and we need to go up to start a frame or in challenges. And what we want to do is we want to go over to I and go set current group, and this is going to be the same group as all of our other our other stuff. So I'm just going to title it save file, name it like the exact same group from the other frames, and then we're going to set current item. And the first item we are going to set up is going to be challenge selected. And this will be important. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to go back to this check mark and go right click, set item. And this time, the item we're going to be setting up is challenge 2 done. Because remember, my first challenge, it doesn't work. I got to get this out of here. Why is this here? Okay. Challenge 2 done. And then we're going to do that for the rest of our challenges. So I'm going to go right click, set current item to challenge 3 done. And then I'm going to go right click, set current item to challenge 4 done. And then I'm going to do it one more time for challenge 5 done. And obviously do that for the rest of your items too. Just remember that you have to set up the current items instead of like the current group, just because I mistakenly did that one time and it kind of messed it up. But anyway, now that we have that done for our INI, now we have to set that up for the counters too. So we're gonna go over to challenges to start with, and we're gonna go set counter, and I'm gonna scroll down to the INI, get value of item, and you want to type in the exact same name you set the INI to, which was challenge selected. Challenge selected. There we go. And then we're gonna go over to challenge 2 done counter and go right click, set counter, go down to the INI, get value of item, challenge 2 done. There we go. And then we're just gonna do the exact same thing for the rest of our counters. So set counter, INI, get value of item. This one's gonna be challenge 3 done this time. Challenge 3 done. And then we're gonna go over to challenge 4 done, set counter, INI, get value of item, challenge 4 done. And then we're gonna do it one more time for challenge 5 done. Down, INI, get value of item, challenge 5 done. Awesome. Okay, and once we have that, oh my god, I am selling. So once we have that done, the next thing we need to do is we need to copy down this starter frame code right here, because we want to bring this starter frame code over to our night custom and our 6 a.m. It's probably not preferable to just type it all in over and over again for a different frame, so that's kind of why I want to copy it down. But before we can actually copy it down, you see this challenges over here where it says set counter to 1. Go to delete and then delete the set counter to 1 for now. And then once you deleted that, copy down the started frame code. Just make sure you press Control C a couple times, you never know. And then once you have it copied down, press Control Z to bring the set counter back to 1. Additionally, we also want to go over to our INI, and we want to go right click, and we want to go over to set value of item, and we're going to say challenge selected, and we're going to say set challenge selected to 1, because we have set counter to 1 right over here, which will set the challenge to 1, but we also want to make sure that the challenge selected in the actual save file is also set to 1. And as you guys can see, it works, which is great. So you can actually select through challenges and everything here works. If it is set to 0 for you guys, you may have to load back in. Maybe just a little reboot would work. But as you can see, it works here right now, which is great, which is what we want. And then after you have that, the next thing I would say, just to make sure that it works all the way across for the save file, is if you actually run the frame, as you can see, if you run through the challenges, this counter goes up as well. And obviously this counter is connected to the INI. But that doesn't mean that it's automatically going to set the code for the INI. So we have to do that for every single challenge. So we're going to go over and we're going to go over to where it says the challenges is set to 1. And we're going to go over to INI and go right click, set value of item, challenge selected. Oh my god, why does it do that? Selected to 1 because we're on the first challenge. Then we're going to go down to challenges is equal to 2. Right click, set value of item, challenge selected to 2. Did I set it to 0? No, okay, it's set to 2. Then do that for challenge is equal to 3. Challenge selected, selected 3. I'm really slow today. I do not know why. And then just do that for the rest of your code. So I'm doing this for the 4 now. Boom. And then the last one is set value of item, INI, get value of item. Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm stupid. Wait. Set value of item. Challenge selected to 5. Okay, so this should also work. This should also work as well. So if you go into here, as you can see, we're on challenge 1 right now, but then you just scroll to the right and now we're on challenge 4. And if you actually exit out of this and you go back into your MMF application, remember, if you don't know how to access your MMF application, go down to your search bar down here, type in run, and then type in %appdata%, all lowercase, press OK. Then scroll down to see MMF application, MMF applications, double click into that, and then just select your Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever your game file is at the top. Double click into that, and as you can see, challenge selected is equal to 4. So it works, which is great. So challenge selected is now equal to 4, and that is exactly what we want, because obviously I left off on challenge 4, and then I did that. And the reason we do this is because when we make it to 6 a.m. and our INI is set to like challenge selected is equal to 4, then challenge 4 done is going to equal 1. You kind of see how this all ties in together? Anyway, once you have that, we're going to go back, and we are going to then copy down our counters. So, not the INI, but we're going to copy down our counters. So, we're going to select our challenges. Challenge 2 done, challenge 3 done, challenge 4 done, challenge 5 done. We're going to go right click. We're going to copy this, and we're going to go over to Night Custom, and we're going to place down our counters. There we go. And I just realized that I didn't copy. I copied down the starter frame code up here, but I'm so stupid. Anyway, copy down your counters, bring them over to Night Custom, and additionally bring them over to the 6 a.m. as well. So go right click and then paste all of our counters into here. Awesome. And once you have that, then you want to go back and you want to copy down your starter frame up here so that the code can work across multiple frames. Just remember that your set counter to 1 for challenges and your set value 1 to item challenge selected is still there. So if you copy this down and then you bring it to all of your other frames, your INI is going to be equal to 1 all the time. So you just have to remember to delete those whenever you copy. What you can do right now, like I said before, go over to your challenges counter, go right click, delete, set counter to 1, and then go over to your INI and go right click, delete, and then delete the set value 1 to item challenge selected. And once you have that, copy down your starter frame and then press Ctrl Z 2 times to bring back both the set value to item challenge selected 1 and to also bring back your set counter to 1. But if you don't see those when you press Ctrl Z, you can always just type them in again. But once you have that copied, then you want to go over to Night Custom, Event Editor, and you just want to go right click, insert a group of events, and we're going to call this Custom Night Challenges, and then just paste it right there. And then go over to your 6 a.m. and then go over to your event editor and go right click, paste. Cool. Why is this here? Oh, that was from when I was doing a previous attempt. Okay. So, if you did this correctly, now you should have all this right here. And in fact, if you actually run the frame, you should see that this counter is equal to 4 still, because our INI down here said it was 4. So, that's already done. So, the next thing we need to do now is we want to make it so that whenever you end the frame, it'll add 1 to whatever challenge you're on. So for example, if I complete challenge 2, my challenge 2 done is going to equal 1 instead of 0. Which I don't think there's actually one to progress. I have this fire event next night. I don't know why that's not working, but if you don't have nothing to actually progress on, just go over to new condition, the timer, is timer equal to a certain value, and we can just say like 7 seconds, and then just go right click, jump to frame, back to menu. I have no idea why that's not working, but whatever. And then the next thing we need to do is we want to make it so that when timer actually equals 7, and when you go back, you can go over and you can actually make it so that you completed that challenge. So I'm going to go over to new condition, storyboard controls, end of frame, and at the end of the frame, we're going to go right click, insert, and we're going to say challenges. Compare the count to value. When challenges is equal to 2, then you want to go over to your challenge 2 done and go right click, set counter to 1, which means that it is done. And you also want to go over to your INI and go right click, set value of item, challenge 2 done to, you guessed it, 1. So that means you have it done. And we need to do this for the rest of our code. So we're gonna go over to new condition, storyboard controls, end of frame, go right click, insert, challenges, compare the count to value, when it's equal to 3, then go over to your challenge 3 done this time, right click, set counter to 1, and then go over to your INI, right click, set value of item, right click, set value of item, and we're gonna say challenge 3 done. Oh my god, what is wrong with me today? Set that to 1, and of course just do that on and for your challenges. Or additionally, you could just copy and paste this code down, but instead double click into your counter where it says challenge is equal to 3, double click into that, change it to 4, and then just go over and drag the set counter to 1 to this counter over here, because this counter is challenges 4 done. And then you can just go right click and you can just edit this INI so it instead says challenge 4 done. And you can do it that way because it's much faster, because it's much faster than just writing it all down again. And I am going to do that for the last one. So I'm going to change this counter to 5. I'm going to drag this one over to challenge 5 done now. And I'm going to go right click and edit the INI so it says challenge 5 done is set to 1. Pretty easy. The next to last thing we need to do now is we want to go back to our custom night menu. And or actually I can just show you this real quick. So if you run the application and you go custom night, as you can see, challenge is equal to 1, right? Cool, all very nice, very nice. But I'm just gonna go over to challenge 4 real quick. And this applies to all your challenges. So I'm gonna go over to challenge 4, and then I'm going to run the application, custom night, and as you can see, the counter up here is set to 4, but it says challenge 1. That don't seem right. Why does it say challenge 1? Well, it's because that we need to actually set our paragraphs for each counter. So we have display previous paragraph and display next paragraph, but for INI purposes, we want to actually have a specific name for each one. So really, these are kind of useless. That's a tiny mistake. But go over to where it says challenges is equal to 1, and go over to challenges string and go right click, set paragraph to paragraph 1. Then go over to challenge is equal to 2, right click, set paragraph to paragraph 2. Challenge is equal to 3, set paragraph to 3. 4. Oh, not 4. Set paragraph to 4. And then 5. Set paragraph to 5. So this should fix the issue. It will still say 4, but as you can see, it says challenge 4 now. So just a little bug, I guess. It's not nothing major. But once you have that done, now, what is the next step actually? I believe the next step now is to actually make it so that we have to see if it works. We need to see if it actually works now. So run the application, custom night. We'll go over to challenge 2. We will start it up. And we need to make it to 6 a.m. And once we make it to 6 a.m., then we will be taken over to 6 a.m. And then in 6 a.m., it will add this counter right here to 1. So all we gotta do is wait. Oh, really? That's gonna take that's gonna take forever. I'm not waiting 6 minutes just to make it to 6 a.m. So I'll just go over to night custom. And if you want this to go quicker, you can go over to event editor and you can scroll to the left down in custom night challenges. This is just like a buffer thing. You definitely don't want to forget this because I forget this every time. But go over to the timer, right click, it will say set timer to the end of the night. So we can go minutes, we'll say 55 minutes. No, 5 minutes. And then we'll go over to seconds and then say 55 seconds. Because then all we have to do is just wait 5 seconds and then we get taken to our 6 a.m. screen. But you have to remember that that's there because I have released multiple games where I forgot to take out the set timer to 5 minutes and 55 seconds, and it just takes the characters or the players right to the end of the night. You definitely don't want to forget that. But go custom night, we'll go challenge 2, and now we will see if this works. Let's see it. We gotta wait 5 seconds, and boom, 6 a.m. And this should be added to 1 at the end of the frame. It's not added to 1 right now, but it should be added to 1 by the end of the frame. And if we go to custom night, boom, it is set to 1, which is great. And obviously, if this is set to 1, then this star is going to fill in. Obviously, we haven't filled in that code to make it, like, you know, see that because it's just set to the the last frame already. But if we go over to challenge 4 and then we just start it up and then we wait till 6 a.m. Gotta wait it out. Nope, now you golden ready. And then we're at 6 a.m. and then all we gotta do is wait, and then this counter right here will be added to 1 when we get to custom night. And then boom, add to 1. We go to challenge 3. We wait for 6 a.m. and then that goes up to 1. Wait up. And as you can see, that goes along with this also. So you could go like start a frame. Actually, I'll talk about that a little later. But you can do fun stuff with the INI now because it's going across multiple frames. You go back to custom night, and as you can see, the completion is all working. And then if you go over to your MMF applications and you select your game file, it has your challenge 2 done equal to 1, challenge 4 done equal to 1. The only issue with this is that it's pretty easy to actually alter it. Like, if you name it challenge 2 done is equal to 1, then your players might be able to access the save file and be like, well, you know, there's like 7 challenges. Let me just type in challenge 3 done, you know, stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure there's more like configuration options to make sure that you have like a password on your save file or something like that. I heard that from somewhere. I don't know if that's true. But anyway, now that that works and we know that works, the last thing we need to do is, well, first of all, we just don't forget that the set timer is here. We will need that soon, or a little soon anyway. Go back to your custom night menu, and now we're gonna get the stars to actually work. So we're gonna go over to event editor, and then we're gonna go over and we are gonna go new condition, challenges. Where is it? Challenges. Compare the count to value. When it is set to 2, actually no, when it is set to 1, no matter what, if it's set to 1, we want to go over, and I'm actually going to go to star and go right click, and I'm going to make my star invisible because obviously you can't beat the first challenge. Like, you can't beat challenge 1. But of course, Doing that, you also have to make it reappear, which is pretty easy. All you have to do is then go new condition, challenges, compare the count to value. When it is different than 1, then we'll go right click on the star and make it reappear so that any number besides 1, the star will reappear. And as you can see, it's set to 2, stars here, set to 1, there's no star because you can't beat it, and vice versa, and that works. Now we're gonna make the star actually work. So go over to new condition, go over to challenges, compare the constant value. When it is set to 2, and then you go right click, insert, go over to challenge 2 done, compare the constant value. When it is equal to 1, which means that you have done it, go over to star, right click, animation, change, animation frame to 1, and then copy and paste this code, and instead go down to the second one and go challenge 2 done is equal to 1, and go right click, negate it so that now it is different than 1. Or you can just double click into this and then go to choose comparison method and just change it to different that way, because I know some people are having an issue with the negate settings. And of course, if you're on the second challenge and you didn't beat it, then right click, animation, change, animation frame to 0, because that means you didn't beat it, which is great. And now we have to do this for the rest of our challenges, so I'll just show you one more. New condition, challenges, compare the constant value. When it is set to 3, right click, insert, go over to challenge 3 done, compare the constant value. When it is equal to 1, then we're going to copy and paste this and change it so that this challenge 3 is challenge 3 done counter is equal to 1, and we will change this counter so that it is different than 1. So when you're on the third challenge and challenge 3 is done, go to the star, right click, animation, change, animation frame to 1. But when it's not done, right click, animation, change, animation frame, set it to 0. So, vice versa, do that for the rest of your for the rest of your challenges. I'll be working off on the side, and I will cut this part of the video out, but you guys see what I've done, so just do that for a couple more times, and then you should be good. And once you have that, just check over, make sure everything's correct. The only thing you really need to check is if the challenge X counter is the challenge X done counter is equal to 1, make animation to force animation frame to 1. But if it's not 1, then just make it 0, and it should work across all the frames. And if you run the frame, as you can see, challenge 2, 3, and 4 are already done, so we don't have to worry about that. But if you go to challenge 5, which I haven't completed, it should be empty, which means that you have to complete it. And of course, that's a pretty easy fix. All you gotta do is go run application, custom night, go Golden Freddy, because that's the one challenge I did not do, and then you just wait. And whenever 6 a.m. comes up, all you gotta do is wait. Alright, and all we gotta do is now wait for the end of the 6 a.m. frame, and then this counter should go up to 1. And then, boom, it's filled in, all of our challenges are done. So that's pretty much it for the custom night challenges tutorial. There are a couple more things that you might want to do just to make your game a lot better. First of all, go back to your custom night menu, or your night custom, and just get rid of the set counter to 555, because we don't need that no more. That was just for dev purposes. And once you have deleted that, the only thing you really need to do is just kind of lighten up the place a little bit. So obviously get rid of these counters, get them out of here so we can't see them. And then maybe if you want to go into it, you can run the frame and make it so that the left arrow here is invisible, and the right arrow at the end of your challenges is also gone, just to make your game look better. Which, if you want to do that, just go over to where it says challenge counter is equal to 1, and then go over to your left challenge arrow, right click, visibility, make object invisible, and then go over to where it says challenges is different than 1, and just go right click, visibility, make object reappear in the left challenge arrow. And you can do that in the same, pretty much just do what you did up here, but for the your last challenge. So my last challenge is 5, so I can go over to new condition, challenges, compare the count to your value. When it is set to 5, then go over to my right challenge arrow, right click, visibility, make object invisible, then go over to new condition, then go over to challenges, compare the count to your value. When it is different than 5 this time, then make your right challenge arrow reappear. Awesome. So now this should work as well. So obviously I can't click on this. It reappears though and does that and all that and above, which is great. Now there is one final note that I kind of want to leave you guys on, because as you guys can see, this is all done. You can also go over to your night custom, and if you know a lot about Clickteam, which at this point you should know at least some stuff now, because you know you're far into the series, but you can make it so that, like, if your office has like a table, you can make it so that when one of these challenges is equal to 1, for example, challenge 2 done is equal to 1, which is true as of right now, you can make it so that when challenge 2 done counter is equal to 1, you can like add a Freddy plushie. But when it's different than 1, then there's no Freddy plushie. Oh, I forgot about the puppet. That actually scared me. But you could like do like custom night unlockables too. So there's a lot you can do with this. Which obviously I'm not going to show you guys that, because that's pretty easy to do, and you know, it's kind of just like a do it on your own. I already held your hand enough. But anyway, the next tutorial is either going to be on an AI or it is going to be on FNaF 3 stuff. So I might do either a BB or Withered Bonnie or Withered Foxy tutorial next, or I will do a map toggle. I will do a map toggle type. What is it? What is it? Mechanic. I can do a map toggle type mechanic in the next video, which will obviously be for FNaF 3, and that tutorial is going to be a little goofy, but we'll get to it when we get to it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Let me know what you want next. The next tutorial I'm probably gonna do is the it's probably gonna be map toggle, but people have suggested like doing a BB mechanic, so I might do that. I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode. See you guys.